With a heavy heart, I bring you this week's video. Hey Star Wars fans, welcome back to another video from All Things Star Wars Considered. As always, I'm your host Doug, and today I've come to you with some sad news. My father has passed away, and I wasn't even going to do a video. I was going to actually shelve the channel for a couple of weeks, but I started thinking about it, and I've been doing a series of videos in which I've talked about the 12-inch line of figures. And I've already done two segments, and I've already covered 8 figures. And the final 4 figures, of that final 4, one figure has a special place in my heart, and there's actually a story that kind of goes along with my dad. So I thought rather than shelf the channel for a couple of weeks, I would just do an abbreviated video where we talk about just one of the final 4. And we're going to talk about that next, so stick around. Now, to some that have followed my channel right from the start, they probably have heard this because I think about a year ago, while I was still kind of getting my feet under me and still trying to figure out all the nuances of how to do this actual YouTube channel business thing, I was still kind of fumbling and bumbling, to use some of my words. I was fumbling and bumbling, and I actually did a video. So if this is, something you've already seen, I apologize, but I thought, since I was doing the video about the 12-inch figures, I thought it only made sense that I would kind of stick with this particular story and this particular figure. Now, when I was a child, we used to do trips to New Hampshire. I would say I was probably maybe 10, and we went to New Hampshire in the summer, and we were going from attraction to attraction. Anybody familiar with New Hampshire, they have Storyland, they have Santa's Village, they have the Alpine Slide, they have gondola rides, they have all kinds of things, Loon Mountain, Clark's Trading Post. So my dad loved to go up to New Hampshire. He loved New Hampshire, loved the foliage, just loved being in that environment. So we went probably twice a year. And this particular trip, we were going to all these attractions. And as we were leaving these attractions, my dad was saying, oh, you want something from the gift shop? And I was to that point where I was getting a little bit too old for some of the cutesy attractions, some of the cutesy souvenirs that went along with these attractions. You went to Clark's Trading Post, and there were little stuffed bears, and, Storyland had all that nursery rhyme, Mother Goose type of stuff, and Santa's Village, obviously, we know had to do with Santa Claus and the whole winter aspect and Christmas and all that. So I was feeling like I was getting too old for that, and I also had a little bit of an ulterior motive. So every time he would ask if I wanted something, I'd say no. By the time we got back home, I'd say a week later, I had nothing. And my brothers had a couple of things, and my dad kind of pulled me aside, and he's like, you were really good on that trip, but you didn't ask for anything. Is there anything you want? And the 12-inch line was out, and I had my eye on the Jawa. And you guys know, following this channel, I'm a big Jawa guy. So, yeah, I wanted the Jawa. So I told him that. And my dad knew about Star Wars, but he didn't know a lot about it. He knew I was playing with the figures and collecting the figures, but he couldn't have told you the difference between R2-D2 and C-3PO. And yes, before you say anything, yes, it pained me as well. But that just wasn't his thing. He provided for his family, and that was it. So I said, I want a Jawa, and he didn't know what that was. But he's like, okay. And then he goes, well, how much is it? And I was like, $10. And if you've heard this story, I apologize, but his hand went to his chest like he was Fred Sanford. oh, $10. You were good, but you weren't that good. So he calmed down. He softened a bit. And I was going to get that Jawa, but it wasn't going to come without a price. So he takes me in the backyard, and obviously, you know, we live in New England, and New England winters are harsh. We were getting ready for that because we had just come back from New Hampshire. We used to go up there for the foliage, so we were probably up there sometime around October. So we were gearing up for the winter in New England, and we had all this firewood stacked in the backyard. And my dad goes to the pile of wood, and he's like, I want you to take all this wood. I want you to put it in your wagon. I want you to drag it over to the bulkhead, throw it down into the basement. When you're done, I want you to go down, stack it all on pallets, and then sweep up the area and clean up everything. So I go outside, and I'm looking at this stack of wood that's, you know, towering over me. I'm just, like I said, 10 years old, and I'm like, oh my God, this is going to take me forever. But I wanted that Jawa. So I painstakingly did exactly as he asked. He came home that night. He's like, did you do what I asked you to do today? I said, of course. So he goes into the basement. He's looking. All the wood is stacked neatly on pallets. The floor's been swept. So he pulls my mother aside, and he's like, okay, this weekend, take him to the store and get him that Jawa figure. So that weekend, sure enough, we went to Child World, and I walked to the Star Wars section, and there the 12-inch figures were, and I grabbed the Jawa. I was beaming with pride. I worked hard for that Jawa, and I was going to get it. So we went to the register. They bagged it. My mom gave them the money, and we walked out. So I was thrilled. Now, that's what we're going to focus on today. We're not going to touch upon the last three. We'll just do the Jawa, get in, get out. You know, this is very emotional, so I'm trying to kind of hold it all together. But when we return, I'm going to show you a Jawa, not the Jawa. The Jawa I had as a kid fell into disrepair. The foot got broken. We lost the cape. I had the bandolier for a little while. That eventually disappeared. The gun was gone. But obviously, it was such an important figure that along the way, I picked up another one. I might have picked up two. So when we return, we'll get into that. So stick around. That's coming up next. Okay, and here's the Jawa. Now, like I stated earlier, obviously, this I picked up a few years back. I always felt that I needed a Jawa in the box, and I got a great deal on this. I think I paid about $80 for it, and it's sealed. So he's never been out of the box, and as long as I own him, he's never coming out of the box. So let's kind of just get into this briefly. We have the Jawa name pill. It's in yellow. The original was similar. It was like kind of maybe more to the orange, maybe like a yellowish brown, but I mean, it's, for all intents and purposes, it's the same. They've gone with a different photo. Obviously, the Jawa photo on the 3 3/4 inch figure was of him, a specific Jawa shooting R2-D2. This one, we have the Jawas kind of with R5-D4, but still a great image. We have the Star Wars logo with the Luke and Leia Hildebrandt. Contents, 8-inch posable large action figure with laser rifle, removable ammunition belt, and hooded cloak. 4 and up, and the Kenner logo. Now we turn to the side. We have Star Wars Jawa large size action figure, and it's basically all the same details on over here, and hooded cloak, and then it says authentically detailed. Okay, if we flip to the other side, it's the same image. This one, though, has the Kenner logo and the proof of purchase. As you see, this one doesn't. If we look at the top, Star Wars logo. Bottom, Star Wars logo. So, all in all, you know, the standard stuff. So, let's get to the back of the box. All right? Now, I love this. You know how I am about this. So, we have a still from the movie of the Jawas after they've captured R2-D2. And then, of course, we see a bunch of the figures with the R2-D2 figure, and they're all kind of got their rifles trained on them. It says, recreate Jawas capturing R2-D2. And then the next still is from the movie, and then, of course, the toy in action. Relive Luke Skywalker buying R2-D2 from the Jawas. And then the last image is of a kid playing with it. And like I've said in the past, I always love that because it's such a cute kid. And I always envisioned that was me playing with my Jawa when I was 9 or 10. And then it says other large size action figures sold separately. So there you have it. So let's just kind of flip this over. And as you can see, there's these little straps that are kind of holding him onto the backer card. He's got his brown cloth cape. He's got his bandolier. And up in the upper left-hand corner, the rifle is in a little sleeve. And obviously, the flap image is the same as the image on that other part of the flap. And Jawa large size action figures, and you know the drill. Star Wars logo, Luke and Leia Hildebrandt. The Kenner logo, an 8-inch posable large action figure with laser rifle, removable ammunition belt, and hooded cloak. So yeah, there you have it. And again, this guy's not coming out of the box, so I apologize for that. But when we return, I will actually bring in my loose version to go along with this backdrop. So stick around for that. Okay, and here he is. Now, this is a great figure. I've always loved this. Again, I really wish I had my original from when I was a child. It's too bad. Like, I was able to maintain a lot of stuff that I had from when I was a kid, but it only started when I was 14 on. So anything I collected from 78 to about 83, I do not have. So as such, I had the Jawa for a long time, but the foot ended up breaking. There was a big chunk missing from the foot. Of course, I lost the laser rifle. The bandolier straps that are on the back here, those were gone, and the cape was gone as well. And all I had was just the actual figure, and like I said, even the figure wasn't complete because he was broken. But this is a great looking figure. I couldn't be more thrilled to have him. I'm thrilled to add him to the backdrop. You know, he's kind of similar to the original Jawa, you know, from the Kenner line. Well, this is a Kenner figure, but I'm saying from the 3 3/4 inch line, where they kind of created this hooded, and then you just throw the cloth hood over it, like they did with the 3 3/4 inch figure. Of course, this one, because of the scale, you could add you know, a little bit more detail and have the removable bandolier, which obviously they didn't do with the 3 3/4 inch version, which would have been awesome. He's got these hands that kind of turn. So you have, let's see, one, you have the arm that moves. You have the other arm that moves. The leg, articulation at the wrists, and of course nothing in the head. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have 6 points of articulation with this figure. Just the wrists add the additional 2. So there you have it. So again, I was going to do the other 3 that go along with this, but my heart's just not into it. So we'll get back to it eventually. So if you don't see a video come from me over the next week or two, don't fret. I will eventually return. It's just I need some time to kind of grieve and all that. But I just thought this was a nice way to honor my dad, because there was a nice story that went along with me acquiring the original Jawa figure. So I hope you enjoy, and we'll see you on the next one. Well, I hope you enjoyed the review of the 12-inch Kenner Jawa action figure. I apologize if I'm not my normal jovial self. Obviously, you know, it's tough to maintain your composure when something like this happens. Again, you know, this is a Star Wars channel, so, you know, it's not my platform to kind of, you know, spread my personal business, but obviously I feel like my subscribers are a little bit more intimate with me than somebody that maybe has thousands upon thousands of subscribers. Because let's be honest, when you have thousands and thousands of subscribers, it's tough to kind of maintain this one-on-one relationship with them, because you just have so many. It's nothing against the person whose channel has that many, but it's harder. I feel that I have a more intimate following, and I know there'll be, a handful of you guys out there that will reach out to me. And beforehand, I just want to thank you. I want to thank you for allowing me to vent and allowing you to bring you this video under very difficult circumstances. But I just felt that it was a nice way to honor my dad. It's what he'd want. He knew how passionate I was about the Star Wars universe, and even though he didn't quite get it, he always embraced it. So just want to thank everybody for that. So we're going to move on. Before we do so, just like to thank everybody for the continued support of the channel. Obviously, you guys are the reason why I do what I do. I'd also like to remind you, though, if you haven't done so, please hit the subscribe button so I can continue to bring you that valuable Star Wars content we've all come to know and love. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. You know that helps the channel as well. If you have a question, a comment, some input, please leave it in the comment section. And I'll get back to you. We'll see how it goes, but if you don't hear from me, don't sweat it. I will eventually get back to you, but want everybody to have a great day. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you on the next video. And as always, may the Force be with you. One final thing. Why did he have to go?